That's an interesting segue into my, last few questions that I have, which is you move from individual to organizations, right? And therefore, you really differentiate between a thriver organization and the traditional organizations where work is managed. And I loved one more sentence of yours where you said workloads are like gardens,
Right.
right? Okay. Talk to me a little bit about that, because if I were, say, a team leader or a manager running a team, or if I was a CEO running a large team, uh, uh, I loved some of the examples there. So, when workloads are like gardens, what do you do to a garden pretty much applies as an analogy to the various tasks and meetings and recurring meetings that happens in offices. So talk to me about it and give me that analogy that you have written about. It's a beautiful analogy.
Right. Great. Yeah. So it came from I went along to do a session, and they said, "Oh, our company's so overloaded, workloads are expanding. We're hearing it in the surveys. We need to do something about the workload." So I came along, and people said, "Well, we did something on workloads 2 years ago, and we still have this problem." And I was like, yes, of course you do have this problem, because workloads are like a garden. They never stop expanding. And so if you think about what do you do with a garden, well, if you neglect it, it will keep growing, but not the stuff you want. You'll get weeds, you'll get overgrown shrubs, all sorts of stuff will turning out, and it doesn't take very long. What you need to do, anyone who's had a garden, is you need to pull the weeds out. You need to plan what you want in there, what you want to plant. Take out the things you don't, so that they can get the resources they need and don't get starved out by the weeds, which you don't want. And when I ask people who garden a lot, how often do you need to do it? They say like every day or every second day. You've got to be onto it a lot. And so it is with workplaces. If you are not monitoring the number of meetings, how many people are in them, the level of communications, interruptions, it will just expand, expand, expand. So we found the most effective teams and organizations were like ruthless gardeners. They were continually subtracting meetings, deleting meetings, shortening them, or spreading them out in a wider cadence, having less people in them. So meetings was one, but emails, making them shorter, clearer, more concise with good subject lines. Basic stuff, but all of that maintenance on your garden makes a huge difference, because it wastes everyone's time. And interestingly, going from the individual, there's so much you can do at the individual level, which is really good and you should. But at some point, unless you are going to collectively work on these things, no individual can solve it on their own, because, someone's going to keep creating ridiculous long meetings and inviting everyone who doesn't need to be there.